Good afternoon, good morning, good evening. I don't know where you're at, but we're right here. We're getting ready to talk about UFC Vegas 105, Josh Emmett versus Lerone Murphy. What's going on, fellas?
What's happening, Von? What's happening, Foo? How we doing?
We're doing pretty good, man. I just sort of seem to be getting so excited for Saturdays, even on, mediocre cards. But but you know our motto, right? Usually the underhyped cards are the ones that over deliver.
Oh yeah,
So I'm
oh
I'm
yeah.
looking forward to
It's
some
always the
over
sleepers.
deliverance
Don't sleep on the sleepers. That's what I say.
for sure. Do not sleep on the sleepers. We are gonna take a look at the main card today, at least for this video. Maybe we'll do another one for the prelims if we're up for it. But I think our main interest for today is gonna be this prelim, and the prelim starts up with Mr. No Neck himself, Torres Finney versus Robert Valentin. Torres
You
Finney,
know,
bro. This
he's
dude
a big one.
did what, like three tours in the Dana White Contender Series, and they finally give him a shot to make his debut in the big leagues. And he starts off as a minus 245 favorite over Robert Valentin, who's coming in as a plus 200 underdog here. To me, it's a pretty obvious pick, but I want to hear from you guys first. Who you got, Wolf?
So it's kind of a weird one for me because you think, Mr. Little Hulk. You know what I mean? You remember that video of that really muscular black kid? That's Finney. That you know what I mean? That was him as a kid. He's undefeated. He's 10 he's 10-0 as a pro. He's 5-0 in the amateurs, and he just looks like he's got so much power behind him. Do you know what I mean? And he has. To be fair, there's a lot of hype behind him, and like you say, he's just built like a brick shithouse, as we say over there. But Robert Valentin, I like him. He was in the Ultimate Fighter. He got the shot in the UFC, made his debut. He's a bit of a submission wizard. Do you know what I mean? You don't know where he's going to come out with some of these things. And I think me and you had a joke recently, Vong, about how does anyone submit Torres? You know what I mean? Because it ain't going to be by rear naked choke, is it? You're not going to reach around that.
I don't, and that's the million dollar question right there. All jokes aside, how are you going to submit this guy? I mean, you're not going to, I can't see, a neck choke of any form with the size of these traps, So, an arm bar, a knee bar, some sort of, but he's so huge. I mean, it's going to be so difficult. Watching that fight with, against Loader, we saw someone that's much smaller and I think not as strong as Torres Finney, but with the same type of skill set that Torres Finney have. Completely, well, I don't want to say completely manhandle Valentin, but took care of business against Valentin. And even when he got put in really dangerous positions, he managed to be able to reverse them, escape out of them, and utilize his ground and pound. And I think that's going to be the blueprint for Finney against Valentin. And then it's going to come down to cardio, who's going
Yeah,
to have the better cardio here because it's going to be a grappling affair, I think, more than a striking affair.
yeah.
So, I mean, who do you
What
got?
about
Are you taking
Oh,
Valentin?
nah. I'm gonna go with Torres Finney. I think he overpowers him. Um, yeah, I don't see him. He might finish him, man. He might get a ground and pound finish. But I think like it'll go decision, but I can see like the TKO finish because obviously he's a stronger guy, and I feel like he's been training really hard ever since the second time from the Contender Series. So yeah, I feel like he's got more to prove, and yeah, he should win. Yeah,
yeah?
he'll
And
win easily, man.
who'd you pick, Wolf?
Yeah, so I mean, yeah, slight lean towards Finney getting it finished. But if Valentin's going to win, it's probably going to have to be by a submission, like you say, but I don't know how. Maybe armbar, maybe triangle choke. I don't know, but I feel like Finney's like Fu said, got a lot to prove here. Do you know what I mean? So he's going to go all out in the first round. But like you say, cardio. If it goes out of the first round, then it might be a different story. We'll have to wait and see on that one.
I think Torres is. I think Finney's cardio is going to hold up. A lot of these wrestlers who've trained this style of fighting forever have a different type of cardio, regardless of their muscle mass. I think his cardio is going to hold up, and the problem is Valentin's only path of victory is via submission, and I think that's going to be a near impossibility to sink on Finney. And the positions that Valentin's going to put himself to try to get those submissions are going to put him in a favorable position for Finney to ground and pound. And I'm going to call a TKO finish, either round 1 or round 2 for Torres Finney. I have him as a sizable favorite to win this fight.
Yeah. I think we're all in agreement there.
Next up we have Brad Tavares versus Gerald Meerschaert. Brad Tavares is opening up as a -230 favorite versus Meerschaert's +195. I think that's pretty generous for Brad Tavares to have him such a moderate favorite like that. And it's sort of weird because Meerschaert, he's no slouch. I understand they're giving Tavares a lot of credit for his takedown defense, but I think all it takes is one takedown for Meerschaert to be able to get the opportunity to sink a submission. I'm not calling that yet, but I think that it's a threat. So my fight predictor has Meerschaert actually a slight lean at a -107. Favorite winning by submission in round 2. And I'm a little bit torn in this fight. I feel like, again, that's Meerschaert's only path to victory, and Tavares is pretty good with the takedown defense. I think Tavares can probably stuff them, even be able to get up and avoid a submission, and just punish Meerschaert to a 3-round decision. I'm taking Tavares by decision.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna have to agree with your Sims or whatever. I think Meerschaert's gonna get it done. I think him being an underdog is insane. You got to take that, and especially the sub. The sub is just there too. So I think. Let me see. What is a GM3 sub plus 440?
I don't know if are the prop bets out now?
Plus 440 is a GM3 by sub.
I'm hitting that for sure. And I'm putting some money on that for sure. I mean, I don't know if it's going to happen, but let me see what the sim says. The sim has a number on the probability of him. Meerschaert has a 35% chance of sinking the sub.
I'm gonna say it's more than that. I feel like it could be over 50% chance. Do you know what I mean?
Crazy because it shows that Brad Tavares has more chance of getting the KO TKO than GM3 getting the sub, which is insane.
Yeah. I mean, look. Meerschaert's got the most submission wins in middleweight history. He's the middleweight Charles Oliveira. Do you know what I mean? He's so experienced. He's a veteran of the sport. I mean, Tavares is on a little bit of a skid at the minute. I'm not saying he can't come back from that. He can, but I feel like Meerschaert finds a way late. I think he's going to push him up against the cage. I think he's going to do a lot of clinch work. He's going to try and trip. Like you say, Tavares has got great takedown defense, but like you said, it only takes one. And Meerschaert is slick with finding that submission.
The problem with Meerschaert is he has 4 losses by KO and 9 losses by submission. So his durability is certainly going to be an issue. Right? How old is he? He's 37. They're both 37. So
yeah, Tavares has been around the playground too. He's I think Tavares is more on his way out than GM3.
Than GM3.
If we really think about it, I see more ceiling on GM3's future than I do Brad Tavares. And I'm a big Brad Tavares fan from a while, you know, because he's been fighting for a while. And like in the sport, you know, the sport always is unforgivable. It's whatever.
Unforgivable.
It doesn't forgive. It doesn't forgive its old people.
Unforgettable.
Yeah, it sucks, man. Like it sucks when you see your heroes get laid out. You know, it's like, and I'm not calling him my hero, but he's like one of my favorites. But like Shogun, and
Yeah.
you know
Yeah.
which one
One of
I'm
the
talking
legends
about.
and
Yeah,
pioneers of the sport.
Yeah.
Kane. Yeah, so
Yeah.
Kane and Francis Ngannou, bro. Like, fuck, dude, come on.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
So
yeah, I
so
think
so, so
I
you
like
guys are both
GM3.
going GM3? GM3 late
I
submission?
submission. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, it's totally live, and I would not hate on that. Again, my fight predictor has Meerschaert winning, and that was going to be my underdog pick, but I am going to go Tavares on this one. I just feel like he's going to stuff the submission attempts and just edge out some sort of split decision win.
Hey, nothing's impossible in this game. We learned that.
I would
And it's
love to see it. I would love to see a GM3 submission though, because I am certainly going to play it.
yeah, Tavares is gonna have a good game plan because it's Extreme Couture. You know, Coach Eric is
Yeah.
always gonna have something ready. So
Yeah.
that too, take that into accountability.
Yeah, for sure,
Next
man.
up, next up, we have Kennedy and Nzechukwu. I fucked that up. Oh, fuck that up. Versus Martin Buday. Nzechukwu is a minus 260 versus Buday's plus 220. I'm just gonna call this motherfucker Kennedy.
Yeah.
Kennedy's been on the rise lately. You know,
Yeah.
he's had a sort of a rough patch starting off in the UFC. But now I think he's got all 10 toes in, and he's doing pretty good, man. But Martin Buday, bro, he's not an easy win.
That was Buday.
Buday,
Buddy.
Buday.
Buddy. See, I say it like me and Bisbing say, Buddy. Buddy. It's Martin Buddy. I'm not even attempting Kennedy's last name. In fact, I did write it down. Let me try it. Nzechukwu. Nzechukwu. No,
You probably did better than I did.
My turn.
Yeah.
King Nebuchadnezzar. Yeah.
I nailed it.
That's the one right there. But yeah, man, Kennedy, since he moved up to heavyweight, he's been on a bit of a fucking knockout tear. He looks really good. I think that's his natural weight class. He's found his home at heavyweight. Do you know what I mean? Buday, he's coming off a decision win against Arlovsky. One thing when I was looking into this fight that really surprised me was Kennedy's got a pretty decent reach advantage in this, 6 inches. I mean, some women like 6 inches. 6 inches can be big, 6 inches can be small, depends who you ask. But
what about 9 inches?
Well. I know where we're going with that one.
Cheaty.
Oh shit!
But I think to win this, I feel like Buddy needs to grapple. He needs to really, really be shooting a hell of a lot on this one. Do you know what I mean? I think that's his path to victory. But for me, I don't want to say this is a lock, but it might be. I feel like Kennedy gets it done in the first round by knockout. I think he attacks the body. I think he aims up high and clips him. I don't think it's going to be a full clean knockout. I think it's going to be like a TKO. But yeah, I think Kennedy gets this one.
Yeah, buddy. Same. I see a knockout right here. I like the resurgence of Kennedy. Not even gonna try it, but yeah, Kennedy's been killing it. I like it. Like you said, this weight class is good for him, and he's got that dog in him now. Like when you see guys, it's like, come on, bro, like do something. It's like one of those guys. Okay, he's doing something. He's gonna do something now. So a lot of those big guys, they just go in there and they don't. It's boring. I feel like he's gonna go in there. He's gonna try to kill this guy. So I'm excited for that. KO. Shit, probably first round, man. Second, maybe second, but I don't think it makes it out the first.
I think it does. I think Buday is pretty durable. I mean, Shamil got him round two, but aside from that, I mean, the last time this dude lost was like fucking 2017 and shit.
He couldn't put away Arlovsky though, you know. No.
No, and I don't think he's going to be able to put away Kennedy either. I think, like we're all saying, Kennedy's momentum is up. Buday is sort of like, might be playing this sort of gatekeeper role. He's a threat, but I think Kennedy should be able to overcome him. I would like to see a KO. I think that's what we need to see from Kennedy, to use his aggressiveness, his power, and his range to put away a guy who's difficult to put away. That will start elevating his stock, I think. We could see a decision win. I wouldn't like that. I prefer a knockout, but I see it as a probably round three KO just because of Buday's durability. Yeah, I'm going Kennedy for sure.
Say the last name again.
Nzechukwu.
Hey,
I fucked that one up too.
can we just say hats off to John Anik and all the commentators for nailing these names every day?
I guarantee you he fucking has to be practicing that shit. He's got AI telling him the right fucking pronunciation and shit. He's calling people in Africa, be like, can you please pronounce this name, and recording it. That one threw me for a loop.
Hats off, man. Hats off. I mean, we've even got one of the best names I've ever heard coming up next.
Wait, did we all pick Chuck Weezy or what?
Yeah, we picked
Chuck Yeah, I think we did.
Bro. That's his name, Chuck Weezy.
Chuck Weezy, I like that.
Next up, we got Chang Ho Lee versus Cortavius Romious. Chang Ho Lee is opening up.
Don't say that too loud. Things are floating in my flat now. Whoa.
Damn. You got furniture flying. Cortavius Romious. Holy's opening up as a minus 180 favorite, I think, to the surprise of many people. Romious is a plus 155 dog on this. My fight predictor has Holy a slight larger favorite, a minus 202 favorite to Cortavius Romious. But I've been seeing a lot of chatter online, a lot of people picking the underdog on this one. Is that the route you're going to go with, fool?
Hell no. The fuck? I ain't trying to have my furniture float, dog. We're gonna go with Chang Ho Lee, dog. Holy dog.
Chang Ho Lee.
Yeah, I see. I'm not on the Cortavius hype that much. I've seen a lot of talk about him being an underdog, but I just don't see it, man. Chang Ho Lee, his kids are hungry, man, and there's always Korean superstar waiting to be made, so I'm excited, man.
Yeah.
Bro, he reminds me of Merab Dvalishvili. When I was watching his last fight against Chiang Long or Chow Long, Long Zhao. See, I fucked that one up. I'm fucking all of the foreign names up today, bro. I don't give a shit.
How am I getting them right?
So I mean, he just kept going, and I mean, first of all, that fight was super high paced, and it just when I was watching, I'm like, man, this is the motherfucking Oriental Merab right here, and I think even DC made a reference to it in that fight, but yeah, I don't think Cortavius can stand that pace, bro. I think first round is his most dangerous round, and Cortavius doesn't really know what the fuck to do in those times, right? There's moments when he's just frozen, standing, looking, doesn't know if he wants to strike, or maybe he's thinking, do I do a 2-hit combo, 3-hit combo? Do I do a combo and shoot for the takedown, right? When he's in grappling exchanges, you'll see him just hugging on the back, right? And he's not even initiating strikes to the head or seeking a submission or trying to better that position, right?
Just
but
surviving.
You just sort of see like the brain processing, like, okay, I got it here, now what? And that shit isn't going to fly when you got someone that's going to keep changing shit on you. Like, he'll survive round 1. He'll survive round 2. But I think deep waters are going to start hitting round 3. And that's when Chang Ho is gonna go ahead and take advantage of this shit and knock motherfucking Cortavius Romious out.
Stop it! Stop it! Things are get. But yeah, I agree with you there, man. I do actually think maybe it goes to a decision if it's not a late knockout from Chang Li Ho or Ho Li Chang or however we're saying that one. Like I say, he's a little grappler. Korean Marab. I love that. I love that analogy. That's perfect. That. And like you say, Cortavius, he's lost his last fight to a decision. He does seem to be a bit, like you say, slow starting. And Chang Ho's going to take advantage of that and just shoot. But I'm actually really looking forward to this fight because I think it's going to be a little grappler's delight type of thing. Do you know what I mean?
It's gonna be fun, bro. This fight's gonna be fun because both these guys are game and they're fucking little spark plugs, and exciting. Yeah. And it's gonna be interesting to watch too because I think Cortavius Romious is gonna be a fucking parlay buster. I think people are riding his ass because he's plus money right now, and they're like, "Oh, bro, he's live plus money." And I think they're gonna realize Chang Ho Lee is the real fucking deal.
Decision. I think it goes decision. Yeah, but it'll be a good fight.
One of my sims took it to decision. The other one took it to knockout. I had one sim that had every fucking fight a knockout, and I had to remind it that 54% of the fights had a decision. It's like, oh, I'm sorry. Let me redo the fucking sims. Next up is going to be one of my favorite fights of the card, simply because it has one of my favorite up-and-coming fighters, Joe Anderson Brito versus Pat Sabatini. Brito sitting at a minus 210 favorite versus Sabatini's 180 dog, plus money. Some people putting some money on the dog here, Sabatini. He's got a clear pathway to victory, right? Wrestling to submission. But Brito, he's not that easy to hold down, bro. He's that kind of dog that you can't really get a leash around.
Yeah. I mean, this for me was the closest fight for me to call. This was like close to 50-50. Do you know what I mean? I'd be looking at Brito and then I'd be thinking, okay, yeah, Brito's gonna, bring the striking, he's gonna knock him out. Then I'd be looking at Sabatini, I'd be thinking, oh, okay, so he's kind of got the grappling aspect. So this is kind of feels like grappler versus striker, but Brito's got grappling as well. And he's got submissions in his belt as well. So he seems more well-rounded. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, this one was tough for me because Brito's an exciting striker, and he's just got that energy about him that you can feel through the telly. You just feel it. Yeah, tough one. I've got one side saying Brito by KO, but then I've got another side saying Sabatini by sub. Do you know what I mean? Or maybe it goes the distance. I don't know. This is a tough one.
Oh, I was just gonna say maybe the bet is inside the distance, and then you go throw the curveball at the end. Cut, reroute.
But I'm leaning more towards it staying in the distance. I think someone's getting a finish. Do you know what I mean? What about Foo?
Yeah, what do you got, fool?
I think Brito KOs him. I think he knocks him out. He finishes the fight. I think you got to you throw some money on that money line, and then you got to throw. The fight doesn't go the distance at all. So that'd be
I think that's a smart play too, right there. Right, instead of the Brito KO, you got to give some credit to Sabatini's submission abilities, but the inside the distance bet is probably a safer bet to me. Although a Brito, KO wouldn't be out of the realm of possibility because Sabatini's jaw, bro. I mean, his chin is made of like fucking sugar glass. You can breathe on him and he'll fucking wobble. So
yeah, this fight's not going to judges.
Yeah, so Brito, dude, And the thing is, he's the kind of fighter that looks for the finish. He's looking to hurt you. He's looking to put that hurt on you. And there's a difference between the point fighters, right, that are there to just another day at work, and the motherfuckers that are like, I'm willing to die for this shit. And Brito is the kind that's willing to die in the octagon, metaphorically for that. And I don't know if Sabatini's got that dog in him, so I always go for the dog, skill for skill. You know, Brito's got enough to defend the uh the onslaught, reverse it, and then just start laying that ground and pound on motherfucking Sabatini. I got a round 2 KO.
Yeah, yeah. You swayed me, boys. I'm gonna go Brito KO as well. Let's do it. Let's have it. It ain't going. It ain't going near the judges. It's a reason. It's a co-main. It's gonna whet your appetite for that amazing main event.
Yeah, and I think so far the whole main card, is loaded with possibilities of finishes. I think we're expecting some finishes. Some of the cardio is set up so that we do get some finishes. Um, but the main event right now, Lerone Murphy versus Josh Emmett, I think is going to be a sort of coming out party for Lerone Murphy and a tip of the hat goodbye for Josh Emmett. I know a lot of people don't agree with me. A lot of people think that Josh Emmett still has a lot of juice to squeeze. Um, but I honestly think this is going to be relatively easy work for Lerone once he gets past the first round. Have you guys watched the Tapora versus Emmett fight?
Yeah, yeah. I see what you're
You
saying.
know, that's what happens when you're fighting, a world-class striker with decent takedown defense. I think that Lerone's striking arsenal is more vast, right? It has more depth than Taporia's. Taporia is a great boxer. That's what really uh, makes him such a lethal striker in the octagon. Lerone uses more of that Taekwondo karate base, right? You see a lot of kicks coming from
Yep.
Lerone. You see a lot of flash, a lot of counters, a lot of speed. So I think that's just going to start overwhelming Emmett, who is a one-dimensional striker, right? When you see him, he's really a power puncher, especially for that division, but he doesn't set it up. He has, a jab and then maybe an overhook, or a jab and a jab and a cross, jab and a body shot, but that's it. Two punch combos, maybe three max. And that's not going to win you the fight because now you're just relying on hitting that one shot in that one right place on a target that's moving all over the fucking place.
Mm-hmm.
On a 5-round fight and a 16-month layoff on a 40-year-old dude, give me Lerone Murphy all day long, 4th round KO.
So, Lerone, my Manchester boy, Manchester Miracle, we call him. And honestly, mate, I am hyped and a little bit scared for this fight. Do you know what I mean? I've got to admit, there's a little bit of fear there, but that's what makes it interesting. Do you know what I mean? Last time I felt like this was kind of like when Tom was fighting Pavlovich. I was worried, but I was behind my guy all the way, and I'm behind my guy on this one as well. I think Lerone is just like you say, his striking is just slick as fuck. It's in, out, in, out, in, out. The only one thing that I will say, if you watch the Murphy and Barboza fight, that's where he really displayed his kicking abilities, his grappling, his well-roundedness. Is just everything is just skill for skill. But if you watch the Dan Ige fight, the one thing that worries me is he did get clips in that first round and he got dropped. Now that worried me in that fight.
Now they've been saying that who has more power, Dan Ige or Josh Emmett? And people have been saying, Emmett or Ige, probably the bigger power puncher than Emmett. I don't know about that, but I feel like Lerone took the best that Ige.
Fuck no, bro. Emmett, fuck, dude. Emmett hits harder than any motherfucker, bro. He hits harder than some of these lightweights, man.
But that's, yeah, okay. But you got, I mean, you got to land that perfect shot. You got to land that Goliath fucking shot. You
Mm-hmm.
know, and it's going to be hard, especially as the rounds go on. I think first
Oh, yeah.
round is his only chance to get it.
Yeah, and I think Laron's learnt a lot from that Ige fight. I think his defensive skills have got a lot better. And I'd say he's going to be in and out, and he's going to be constantly moving. He stays away from the right hand, like you say. I mean, Emmett to me is one of the most powerful punchers we've seen. What he did to Bryce Mitchell nearly killed that guy. Do you know what I mean? It was unreal. He's
Bro,
just
Bryce Mitchell, listen, anyone that steps into a fucking punch like that is going to get lit up the same way. I'm not, you know, it was a opportunity punch where fucking Emmett threw a. I mean, I'm wondering if he even had his eyes open when he threw that fucking punch, as fucking Bryce Mitchell, who probably also had his eyes closed, is
Stop
skipping right
it!
into the
Stop
fucking punch.
it! Stop it! What do you
You
mean,
know,
dude? He had his
come
eyes
on, bro.
closed.
He dropped
Stop
dropped
it!
like a wet
Stop
fucking
it!
noodle. He ran right into that punch, and you know physics, right? Boom, you're coming in to a unstoppable force. You're gonna get fucking rocked. Yeah, no, I mean, all bullshit aside, Emmett is a fucking probably the strongest power puncher in that division. Because he really
Yeah,
should
but
be, I think, a division higher.
he's old though. You know that's the thing.
But the power is the last thing to go.
And I feel like but the thing about this fight is that Murphy, it's not like a Tapor, not to well, he lost to Taporia because obviously the best boxer in all of MMA right now, and then he lost to Yair and he got submitted, which Laurent doesn't have a submission game or that we say, you know, he's mostly goes to decision, so he's gonna pretty much stand there and obviously counter. He's faster. The way he strikes so good. He, you know, a point. He's a point.
Point
But he
fighter.
actually lands. You know, he gets his points and he looks good doing it, bro.
Yeah.
He's gonna
He's got
confuse you
a
every time. He's gonna counter. He's gonna wait. His speed is amazing. But yeah, I see him winning, going all the way. But it's dangerous that he's gonna have to stay there. You know, in the pocket with Emmett, and I just see
he stayed
it's
in the pocket with Edson Barbosa. 5 rounds.
yeah, but I honestly, bro, I'd rather stay in the pocket with Edson Barbosa than Josh Emmett, bro, because the way that
Ooh.
crazy.
Ooh, damn, I don't know about that one, bro. You're a masochist. Edson Barbosa kicks. Oh,
Yeah, and those were landing and those were hurting Laron. Do you know what I mean? But
yeah.
Laron fair play was firing them right back and was rocking. Like at one point, Edson was kind of like just reaching out, trying to
I'm
grab him.
talking Edson right now. I'm not talking Edson 10 years ago.
Yeah, oh, Edson in the prime
Tripping.
Edson.
Don't get it twisted either.
Prime
That's some
Edson
funny
killed my
shit.
boy Terry Etim, man. I'll never forget that. Do you know what I mean?
Don't remind
But
me.
yeah, I'm with Fu on that one. Like, I do think this goes to a decision. If it, you know, I think Edson's. Sorry, I'm fucking thinking of Edson now. I'm scared. Laron's going to, you know, be in it. The quicker, the faster fighter, and this is 5 rounds. And like I say, I think Emmett may start to wilt a little bit in the third, fourth, fifth. By which time Laron's just going to have his way with him. You know, I don't, you know, don't mean to sound disrespectful with that, but I think he will. Do you know what I mean? And Laron's a new breed of fighter. He's a great fighter. Do you know what I mean? Slightly biased, of course. He's repping Manchester. You know, I'm a Manchester boy, but yeah, Laron is going to be phenomenal. This, but like I say, there's always that what if, and if Emmett lands clean, it could. Yeah, it's a worry, but. Yeah, we're going with Laron. I think we're all Manchester
Yeah.
boys tonight
All
on Saturday
Manchester
night.
boys tonight. Is there anyone on the undercard that you wanted to give a quick shout out to? We got a few minutes left.
Yeah, let me go with let's get that Brito that Joe Anderson Brito money line and then get that win inside the distance and you're gonna sprinkle Diane Barbosa by sub, bro.
By sub, nice. I like that.
And that's before she beats the shit out of what's her name?
Velveeta.
I forgot her name, bro.
Velveeta.
Diana Belita's gonna get her world rocked, bro. And
It's gonna be sad.
it'll probably be club and sub too, bro. Like, bah, 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 and then go to the ground and just submit her, dude. Yeah, I'm excited for this fight. Also, the Ode Osborne Luis Gurule fight's gonna be a banger.
Yeah, Yeah.
What about you?
I want to give a shout out to keep your eyes on Davy Grant. You know what I mean? The guy, dangerous Davy G. And,
That's gonna be a fucking banger fight.
It's gonna be a war. I don't think Davy Grant's ever been in a boring fight, and he just shows out every time. Do you know what I mean? I think he's hit 40 now, but you know, so he's nearing the end. But this could be like a really, really good fight. Another one as well. Reese McKee versus Frunze. I like Reese McKee, but Frunze is on an absolute KO run right now. This is dangerous, and Reese is gonna have to fight for his life in the UFC again, I think, with this one. So
yeah, the Frunze McKee fight is my closest fight at a pure 50-50. I have Frunze winning. I mean, I have him as a -100 and Reese as a 100. So a pure coin flip on that one.
Yeah. And one more is Loma. I'm not gonna try and butcher this name. Loma Lookboonme, the little cutie things, you know what I mean? So she's always fun to watch.
You gotta rock with the Thai fighters all the time.
Yeah, that's gonna be an interesting fight. I'm gonna go with her too. You know, it's Muay Thai versus Muay Thai. I take the one that, you know, was born into it. And for me, I'm taking Talitha Alencar by submission. She's gonna submit Vanessa Demopoulos. I don't understand the hype behind Vanessa. Probably as nice of a person as she is, Alencar's got some serious BJJ skills, and she's going to display them pretty easily. Vanessa's going to put herself in a position where she's going to get something wrapped up, probably her neck. I predict like a second round submission on this one. For sure. I'd like to thank everybody for watching the MMA Homies Break It Down. Shout out to
let's get the chant going.
Emirates.
Oh, Lerone Murphy.
Oh, Lerone Murphy. Oh, Lerone Murphy. Yeah, we're going to get thank you, fellas. Like, subscribe, smash that fucking button. Peace out.
Peace out.